Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Intercultural binder, I think that's really the best place to start. Smriti, there are lots of questions coming for you all about your favorite room partner, your favorite food and all, but I'm going to ask you something a little different. I'm going to ask you about who's your strength? What is the, what gives you the motivation? Because like you're mentioning, moments like that on the field when, because of being a girl, you're being talked down to or whatever, sometimes that must be getting to you. So for you individually, as well as sometimes even, the entire team, what are your key motivational moments or people or, well, anything at all?
Well, actually, before 2017, we always spoke about it in the dressing room that one World Cup will change a lot of things for us. I think when I used to earlier, like prior to 2017, go for any tours or something, people used to ask, "Acha, ladkiyan cricket khelti hai?" So like girls do even play cricket. So, but at least now they know that okay, we have a women's cricket team in India. So these things have changed, and this was a very motivation for us in the dressing room. For me personally, I feel that putting on a India jersey, having that India written on ahead of you, I think that's the biggest motivation for me. Just I think winning matches for India, and of course I think like and also, nowadays I think with the kind of growth women's cricket is having in India, a lot of young girls have started playing. So I always feel that even if I like kind of motivate 10 or 15, 20 girls, at least that's my in my head. It's like even if I motivate every day 10, 15 girls to pick up a bat and ball and start playing cricket, I think that will be something which I think I will achieve a lot, and I feel happy about it. That if I will be able to do that. So yeah, I think these two, three are motivation for me to go out there and train every day.
Yeah.
And probably, I think a bit personal motivation is, of course, doing well for my mom, dad, giving them the best life. I think that has to be like something which I always look forward to, and I always looked forward as a kid also, give them a very good life.
That's a lovely thought. And I totally agree with you that just wearing the jersey must be motivation enough, for sure, of course. Um, now we've talked a lot about, well, what it has been like and, experiences. Going forward, I'd love to have all of you weigh in on this. And I know some of our viewers have also asked questions about this. Let me just scroll back to that. As far as there's a question directly for Lisa. What should we do as fans to bring more awareness about women's cricket in the society? So, of course, from the fans' point of view, and in general, Lisa, what do you feel? What needs to be done? What will really bring women's cricket into the limelight?
Well, firstly, you need to watch whenever the women are playing. Make sure you're watching, you're following the individual athletes, and being aware of what they're doing. And then it's more about when you're in the general society, people are talking about cricket, just keep reminding them, oh, there's an Indian women's side, or, did you know that this tour is coming up, or that the domestic 50 over competition will hopefully start soon. The women's IPL exhibition matches will be coming, the IPL is coming. So there's always a chance to kind of keep bringing in the conversation about women's cricket. And the more people you educate as well about the game, and the more that you watch it and follow it, you're able to spread the love, basically. And there isn't too many people I've known that have followed women's cricket and been disappointed with it. So once people switch on, they are enthralled with what these athletes are able to do now, which is great to see.
Sure.
I want to chip in this question.
Please.
Yeah, like I think she's covered almost all the things, but I think as fans, I would just want them to come and watch women's cricket, just to enjoy women's cricket rather than compare. I feel that is something which I hear a lot, that okay, she's not bowling at 145, she's not hitting 110 six, she's not doing that. Watch it as a different sport. Don't keep comparing it with men's cricket. Don't do that. It's not something which there are few things which is there. Like it's not gonna change. But if you come watch it as a different match, I'm sure we'll try to entertain you guys as much as any other sport can. So I just feel that there should be no comparison as fans. They should just come out with a clear mind, open mind to just enjoy the game, enjoy the game of cricket and nothing else.
Oh, absolutely. It's really two different games. Let's look at it that way. Smriti, your next question was, of course, from the viewers. What kind of a message or what kind of guidance would you like to give young girls who want to get into cricket more professionally?
Well, I think just if you have a passion to play cricket, if you love watching cricket, batting, bowling, anything, some people can fall in love with fielding and start playing cricket also. I would just say that go follow the passion. Don't there'll be few like I there'll be few things like when you start you feel scared, you will feel a lot of like uncertainty, what to do, what not to do. I think, but those are the only less times that happens. I think once you pass that, you're going to be very confident about your skills and not worry about anything else. So I would just say that continue following that passion and don't leave just by one or two obstacles, because you need to overcome few more obstacles being a girl. And yeah, I think I have one agenda in my life: enjoy batting, enjoy playing cricket, like enjoy ball you face, enjoy each training session. Because I feel if you enjoy anything you do, I'm just not saying about cricket, anything you do, I think results will come. Don't do it for anyone else, do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself. That's great advice, of course. Radha, from your point of view, as a content creator, as someone who's following sports, as someone who's representative of your generation, what would you like to see happening in the world of women's cricket?
That is a very big question, which I'm still trying to answer myself. But in the past 1 year, I can say that I have sort of narrowed it down to a few things, key things that us as fans and viewers can do. And many times people say that, oh, you need investment or you need X and Y and Z from administrative bodies, from investors, sponsors. It's not in our control. So for anyone listening, I have a few things that are in our control, which has worked for me and I think can work for all the fans out there. You don't need money or power or authority to do this. I work by 3 C's, and they are content, conversation, and coverage. So for content and conversation, as a fan, you can talk about it. It's as small as a tweet or as big as a podcast series that you want to do on women's cricket. As soon as you start doing that, and as soon as you start creating content and conversation that never existed but now exists, you are inspiring other people, motivating other people to take this up. You're stirring conversation. And as soon as this starts snowballing, and I've noticed it, there is a big demand for it. And from the authorities and the investors, when they look to broadcast matches, the one thing they say is, are people going to watch? So as soon as you create that demand, people will watch. And that's when coverage comes in. And as soon as coverage is there, you hit all 3 check boxes. Once coverage is in, conversation will skyrocket, content will build up. And then that snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It starts helping each other. All the wings help each other. And that's when it really grows exponentially. So as a fan, sitting at home on your phone, on your sofa with the TV in front of you, talk about it. Message something to your friends that, are you watching this game? Are you catching it tonight? If the match is on, talk about who's batting well, who's bowling well, who's fielding well. Just simple things like this go a long way. And I used to do that. And then I realized that I can actually take this up as a bigger project, creating content and eventually freelancing with Women's Cricket Zone as a presenter. I get to talk to a lot of cricketers about their journeys, about their stories, starting as just another kid in the park, right? And ending up winning a World Cup. So I think that's really crucial, and you can do it just being a person at home. You don't need money or anything that, authority for that matter. So I think that's those 3 C's, content, coverage, and conversation, are 3 things that I do live by.
And I think the onus of that, at least as far as content is concerned, is on people like you and me, the content creators. So yeah, let's do our part, and we are only too happy to do that.
Absolutely. I think this conversation itself is something new, right? And this thing that's taking place right now means that we're creating conversation for people listening. They're going to share this link with other people, and that's really how it grows from here.
Oh, absolutely. So, of course, all of you watching, please make sure you do that. Please make sure share, and let everyone know about this conversation and more like these. Lisa, we know about Smriti's favorite food. Somebody has asked about yours. I'm sorry, I've lost track of the name, but what is Lisa's favorite Indian food?
Favorite Indian food? I'd have to say either masala dosa or dahi puri.
Oh, all right. Both sound good right now, in fact.
you
Very
impressed
strange
me? I
choices.
bet you, did I surprise
Masala
you?
dosa and
Actually,
bhel
the other thing is I have to finish an Indian meal with pan. Perfect.
Oh
Ah,
yeah, okay. Yeah. Even I like that.
and
Even I love pan.
yeah, and pan is a difficult
Good.
thing for most people to like and enjoy. I mean, Indian, non-Indian doesn't matter. It's one of those. It's difficult for the palate to enjoy. So wow, good for you.
Mm.
Smriti, here's an
Yes,
interesting
Indian
question.
palate. Yeah, come on.
Of course, I'm saying for anybody, at all. Okay, so Smriti, here's a question for you. How difficult was it? Well, I mean, I'm going to just rephrase it slightly. Was it to get into rhythm suddenly after a long gap at home, in not training and playing? So, what was that like? I'm sure this is a pandemic-related question. Just rephrase it. So, yeah, what was that like?
Well, I don't think we've gotten rhythm completely yet, but yeah, we had an opportunity to go to Women's T20 Challenge and play few matches there. But yeah, I think it was good. We got, I think, 7, 8 days before the actual match started. We got few practice sessions with the team, and but yeah, luckily I think probably after the second phase of lockdown, we were able to go at our home places and practice. And I think I just feel cricket is cricket. You bat anywhere, it's going to be the
Yeah.
same. So, but yeah, I was a bit more nervous than I would ever be before the first match because I generally don't get nervous before matches or anything. But this time I was because the whole pandemic, you kept on thinking that will I be able to bat the same way? Will I be able to do these things the same way? So I think I was a bit more nervous initially when I went into bat. But yeah, I think probably 2, 3 balls when you play and it just goes away. So probably yeah, again now as I said, I will be nervous whenever we start playing matches again because we have had again a long gap. Because when you don't play matches for a long gap, you kind of feel a bit nervous when you're going to bed. So probably I'll be a bit again, but probably 5, 6 balls into the match, and I think hopefully it's fine.
Surely it will be, of course. Srilekha has a question. And it's addressed to Smriti, but Lisa, I'd like you to weigh in on this also. What makes the Indian women's team different from others? So, Lisa, let's start with you.
Yeah, I don't know. How can I say it?
What makes the Indian side different? Well, always subcontinent players tend to play a lot squarer. The batters tend to hit the ball a lot squarer. They're more comfortable against spin. Their spinners are normally first class as well because they're used to playing on conditions that help the spinners. But one thing that I've noticed probably over the years, and the first time I came across the Indian side was 2003. That's a long time ago, probably before some of you were even born that are watching.
Come on,
And
96.
yes, yeah, I knew you were figured out. And basically, one thing I've noticed about this T20 side is they're a group that really enjoy each other's company. They sing songs, they laugh, they push each other in a nice way. And I think I've seen a development over this period of time with the Indian side. And that's why it's no surprise that, 2017 they were in the World Cup final, 2020 they were in the T20 World Cup final. So certainly they've got the elements to really challenge the top nations. One thing that I was a bit disappointed with the Indian side about that T20 World Cup was that they didn't celebrate how successful they were throughout the tournament. Yes, the final didn't necessarily go to plan. I would have loved to have seen them celebrate everything that they had achieved, but I get it. As a former cricketer, you can be so bitterly disappointed with the end result. You forget about everything else that got you there, but they played great cricket. And so that's another thing that fans can do as well, is be supportive. Don't stick the boot in when things don't quite go to plan, because I'll give you the tip, this Indian group of girls, they're going to take the game to another level, and I'm excited to see what they can accomplish once they finally get on the park, if they ever get on the park.
For sure,
yes, we're
sure.
We're all crossing. Yes, I know.
Parul, can I quickly weigh in on
Sure,
why?
go ahead, Ladha.
what
Go ahead,
makes the Indian team special as a viewer, what I've noticed is there is this different fire in their belly, because many times they come from small towns, and there are many more hardships that are faced by the Indian women. There's not necessarily a very stable setup when you compare it to Australia or another country like that. So when they make it to the top, they have everything to prove. And I think although we've made it to a bunch of World Cup finals, we are always that underdog team, and that fire in the belly is what keeps pushing us. And that's what gets the fans involved. I think for me, I love to see that, because as Lisa mentioned, I think even back then and now, we are this very tight-knit team, and we're approaching a golden age. I think our team's average age is very young right now. So in the future, I just can't wait to see what we're going to achieve. No pressure, Smriti. But I just love the fire in the belly that the Indian team has. And I think that's really what drives them and is what gets people involved as well.
That's a great point. Absolutely. I think it's
Too much expectations. I'm feeling it.
always. But Smriti, do you agree with Lisa when she talked about, how the team felt after the World Cup, especially, and, not celebrating the victories that you had in the process? And, I mean, of course, it's very natural. But yeah, do you agree? Is that what happened?
Yeah, definitely. I think as a player, even Lisa will understand that, going to play the final, knowing that it's such a big stage. And I think we were more disappointed not winning or losing. I think that we didn't put up a good show. And I think that was something which we all felt that, okay, if it would have probably gone a bit closer and we would have been on the other side of the match, then I think we would have still been a bit satisfied. But knowing our potential, knowing the way we played throughout the World Cup, we couldn't put up a good show, I would say. That was something which disappointed us as a team, way more than losing the match. So I think that was something which it was there in our mind for a long time. So yeah, definitely what Lisa said, we couldn't enjoy, but it was definitely not about winning or losing. It was actually about the kind of performance we put in the final.
Performance.
Have you watched the
Well,
game? Have you watched the game back?
No.
Have you
Is that painful to do?
Have you watched the 2017 World Cup final back?
No.
You need to do that.
I did watch how I got out. Other than that, I couldn't
Not just
watch the
how
whole
you got
final.
out, the rest of it, the whole
I can't.
thing.
Come on, I can't. I can't.
You have
I
to.
can
You
probably
have to
just
try and take some positives from it.
uh, it's a bit tough.
Now I'm doing coaching here. I'm doing the coaching here.
No, go ahead. I'm loving this.
No, look, I think also there's the other element. There's also on Prime, there's a new documentary. It's called The Record, and it's about the journey of the Australian women's side during that tournament. Now, regardless of who they played in the final, it just shows you the amount of pressure that was put on that Australian team, which I actually think the Indian women's team and men's team feel it any time they go out on the park. I think that there is always so much pressure on the Indian players. You've got to find a way to learn with that. So, for young players that are wanting to break into the top sides, I highly recommend watching that documentary series, because the Australian women's side had everything go against them, but they had so much pressure, because for us to try and break that world record, Australia had to be there, and everyone was hoping India would be the other side as well. So the journey of that and how the players coped, I think anyone, regardless at what level of cricket you are, you could take something away from that. So watch it.
Fabulous. Smriti has her evening planned out now.
She's got 3 things. She's got 2 games of cricket and a documentary
to watch.
I hardly watch cricket. You want me to watch so much?
Yeah. Okay. Quick questions before we wrap up. I know that you're all pressed for time. So from the audience, I have a quick question from Parishi. Smriti, who is your favorite batting partner from any other country?
Another country. Probably I've played a lot with Heather Knight in KSL. We played, I think, 2 seasons together. She's the England captain, and yeah, we share a very good bond off the field as well. So yeah, it's always fun to bat with her. She has learned few Hindi words, like few calls here, like nahi, ha. So yeah, I think, and I don't remember, like, probably she and me and Preeti also had good few partnerships in KSL. So yeah, these two would be the ones
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I think it's not like the more I remember of is about both of them.
Of course, on the top of your head. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Lisa, similar question for you. From the players of this generation, which player would you like to have a century partnership with?
Thank you, Lisa.
Sophie
I
Devine.
like you.
Sophie Devine. No, bad luck. Because with you, I think I'd like to run between the wickets. With Sophie Devine, I'd just sit at the other end watching the sixes go.
True. Yeah. Even I would love to bat with her. Yeah. So easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I think it's similar to batting with Shefali. Same
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, I
If I
never
can
got
add-
the opportunity. I never got the opportunity to really play with other players from other countries. So the T20 game obviously came in after domestic competitions. Came in after I retired. I did come out and play for the Sydney Sixers. I did take Smriti's catch at Drummoyne Oval when you were playing for Brisbane Heat. You hit it straight down my throat, and I was like, "Oh, don't drop the first chance." Yeah, I took you out. So yeah, so I would have loved to have played in this generation to play.
Have I
with all of
played
these
against you?
girls.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. Done.
I was 18, 19, yeah. Too
You were
young to
young.
remember.
You had your glasses on and everything.
Specs, yeah. I was too nervous in that tournament.
It showed. It's all right. You've grown from there. You've gone like this. It's fine.
Radha, you were saying something. You were adding to the conversation.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that Lisa mentioned she'd like to bat with Sophie Devine. She actually made the fastest T20 100 very recently, and I got to speak to her after that. And I asked her what was going through her head when she was on the crease, and I asked her about her batting partner, who obviously had the best seat in the house, and what the conversation was in the middle of the overs. And she said that Maddie Green, who was a partner, just said, "Do your thing. Like, I'm happy to just stay here and watch you hit." So I think very similar to what Lisa is saying. But Sophie Devine, just when she's in that slot, she doesn't let go. And yeah, she finished that run chase in, I think she was waiting to catch a flight or something because it was finished before we knew it.
I have a very funny story of Sophie. So when I was probably 18, 19, I think she in New Zealand had toured India. We were playing in Bangalore. And she scored the 18 ball 50, fastest 50, I think. And she hit one of our off spinners for 4 sixes and 2 boundaries in 1 over. And to all the different part of the grounds. And I was like probably 19 and I was just like, wow, this is like something, like this is crazy. And I was actually like being a spectator there than like the opponent. And at the end of the match, I actually went up to her and I said, "Can I have a photo with you?" And I generally I don't do that. And she was very kind. She said, "Yeah, sure." I took a photo, and the intention of taking a photo with her for me was just to compare the muscles because she has this huge muscles, and I was like, I actually want to see the difference between both muscles, and I actually have to find that photo.
You should.
Amazing. We would love to see that. Please make sure it surfaces on your social media. We would love to see that after the story. I know the viewers are begging me.
I was going to say,
Go ahead,
I
please.
don't reckon it would have changed that much if you took a photo now, right?
What? No,
As in
it's
your
nothing
muscles.
changed at
Yeah.
all. No,
Exactly.
nothing. I'm still the same.
Same.
Exactly.
Probably I was a bit, probably half an inch more leaner than now. Nothing else has changed.
How fabulous this conversation has been. I don't feel like wrapping it up, and I know the viewers are begging me not to, but I have promised the two of you that I will keep to my time. So I will say thank you now. And honestly, truly, it's really been an honor and such a pleasure to have you all on this panel, to have such lovely experiences and advice being shared. And I'm sure the viewers feel the same. And there we go. I think we've already got a good agenda for women's cricket right here in these 45 minutes. And let's all do our bit for that, because I know we're all responsible for it. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Smriti. And of course, thank you, Radha, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.